I'll be reacting to The Detective Is Already Dead, episode 5. I'll be watching it from Funimation's website, and I'll be starting my reaction in 1, 0, go. Kadokawa. Which honestly, I think they have by far one of the fanciest looking anime logos, if you ask me. Now it is here. You know, of all the things the series will be doing, I'm surprised it's going to be going for a fan service episode. I wonder if it's going to lead to what actually happened to Siesta. Even if he would have dodged, Kimizuka would probably still be a servant, regardless. And you know what? It wouldn't sound like a terrible fate, regardless. Oh, how could he say no to that? I mean, considering Siesta has such a charismatic personality, and I'm not going to blame him for being inclined of doing what tells him to do. I'm just saying. And him saying that, it's going to be more tempted of her doing that, though. That's the thing. Well, it depends on the context, though. Man, it's just that Kimizuka is not used to situations like that. That's why he's not enjoying it as much as he should. Whoa. I'm assuming he looks different to me. Ah, it's a shame he never was able to tell her, considering what happened. Whoa! I love how she's so confident. I wouldn't blame her, though. It's really sad that they weren't able to do that. But hey, it doesn't hurt to dream, though. That's the thing. But I know they mentioned the fact that they're flat broke. I think the series would have had better effect, though, in the whole flat broke effect thing, if it would have maybe shown Siesta and Kimizuka a bit thinner, though, and skinnier, to just represent that they're not well fed, you know? Because visually they look fine, they look healthy, they look like people who haven't had to go through massive amounts of suffering without food for a certain amount of time. Don't get me wrong, it's comedic. I got laughs from it, but if you're wondering what I'm checking, I'm checking whether YouTube. Yeah, this video is shadow banned too. Just like they shut up on the Duke and the Maid video. Well, shit. But, you know what? I'm going to ignore that for now. Because, honestly, it puts a smile on my face. At least to the extent where I can temporarily, I want to say forget, but temporarily just get rid of my worries when it comes to all the shadow banning nonsense that YouTube does. But yeah, that's the thing they could have done, though. Just slightly adjust the aesthetic so that it seems like they're struggling a bit to make ends meet. That was directed at 1 year in the jaw. Oh boy, looking at the context, it looks like it might be getting closer to at least demonstrating how things wait completely off the wayside. Okay, that's just utterly savage and disgusting. Whoa. And I'm just wondering if they're gonna actually have the whole episode focusing on Kimizuka and Siesta, or is it gonna go back into like more recent times and it's only gonna show small flashes? Either way, I'm cool with either route. It's quite the responsibility to put on their shoulders, though. But then again, considering they've been at it for 2 years, I could see why they'd rely on both Siesta and Kimizuka. Granted, he does look a bit cool with that ladder. That's the whole thing. That's a lie. Is the serial killer investigator. Everything else doesn't even compare. I wonder if they're going to delve more into Spess in the actual series. No, there's no way they can't. I wonder if that's going to be Siesta's downfall. Her trying to bite a bit more than she can chew figuratively. Because she seems like a type of gambler that doesn't know when to stop. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising considering that, at least on the first episode, Siesta was dealing with things regarding spec. And just as I love how she says it all like a matter of fact. It's like the most casual thing without any sense of fear in her voice. Yeah, she will. That just tells you how much of a badass Siesta is. And plus, yes, those look super overly active too. So I could see why she'd have higher basic cravings than other people. Because the more physical activities you do, the more calories you burn and the more food you need to eat. Oh, snap. The 3-year mark. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up in a scenario where Siesta sacrifices her life to save Kimizuka because I feel like it's leading towards that. No, I don't like the sound of that. I want her boy to be safe. Unless Cerberus does something completely wild and sees through the plans and attacks Siesta first. We really don't know the intellect level of Cerberus yet. I don't think it's much consolation in his scenario, though. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing. At least that's what I'd be saying if I was in that spot. Cerberus? I don't know. Oh. Damn. I mean, it won't react that way though if they try to tap them while they're sleeping. I'm not gonna blame them for having a bit of paranoia. Seems like it, because I mean, it's not like he was told about this beforehand, though. Yeah, exactly. I'm actually taking Kimizuka's side here, because if he didn't have those instincts, he'd have probably be dead in the past. I agree with that. Oh yeah, Char usually isn't comfortable with, and plus Char isn't usually that comfortable with Kimizuka, considering the context of the previous episode. Duh. Let me look at the dick boy. He sounds like Katamine from the He sounds like Katamine from the Fates Night series. And it also sounds like Alucard from Hellsing Ultimate. Yo, no, it does! Yo! I'm gonna have to look that up later to see if it's the same voice actor. I actually like this scene, the creativity of Kimizuka, utilizing what's in the environment to at least try. Hey, maybe its weakness is flames. Because had it been a reason why that was left with him, had it been more than just shits and giggles. And the thing is, he can't jump out the window because of the large distance. I mean, he's a partner at this point. Definitely not a flunky. The animation here kind of looks a little bit off because you don't see the water landing on his body. And you don't see it landing on Cerberus' body either. A little bit off because I'm pretty much seeing all on-sequence one of animes. And some of the animes I see, the water actually lands on characters' bodies when it's rain or sprinkler. Oh. Yo, that is a badass. I just hope she doesn't let her guard down. But I don't think they'd be showing this flashback for no reason, though, unless she's going to end up dying. Maybe she bathed or used some kind of special scent hider. I have no idea. Oh. Thought for a second she might use some kind of special chemical to hide her scent of her body or something. That explains why she utilized our boy as bait then. I don't think it's going to be that simple, though. Oh! The thing is, though, what's the time for transforming into the big-ass forming? Yeah, exactly! Oh, shit! Oh, okay. I thought for a second this was going to be the moment where Siesta was going to lose. Well, not the moment, but the bit where she's going to lose her heart. Yeah, that's actually the first time we see Siesta that alarmed in a scene. Usually we see her confident at selling every single scenario. I'm assuming Hell's going to be a lot of trouble. Oh! My guess is this is going to be a problem that CS is not even going to be able to completely deal with. You know, normally I'd say, but that's his own subordinate. But we're talking about a person who heads the space organization, so I wouldn't expect anything less from a sack of shit. When it comes to hypnosis? Seems like it. Yo, no, that is just creepy as hell. Oh, fuck. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if at that point they already took away Siesta's heart. I'm pretty sure, though. And he's already talking in like a teasing manner, too. Well, she's teasing she's talking in a teasing manner. Probably because Hell has the upper hand. Bullshit! It's like the opposite, like the far opposite of normal. Yeah, exactly. And her abilities are far more than normal, too. Yeah, normal people wouldn't be calling other people a cog in some kind of plan. What the? So wait, is there's gonna have like I mean, it already has some science fiction elements, but it's gonna have some fantasy elements to it too. But that'd be pretty captivating. My guess is our boy's not gonna have a really prosperous future. I think at this point he's already dead because you can see him completely confident. Oh, oh yeah, with the way she's talking. Yeah, it's definitely gonna lead. I wouldn't be surprised if Hell blames Siesta's death on him. The fuck would he want to become partners with her? Yeah, and why would he? Yeah, it would probably be salvation towards a perspective of a complete sociopath. You know, if she were to say any perks, not that I think Yumizuka would say yes. Hell no. Yeah, what that's about hell knew he was gonna say no. I'm assuming it's gonna be Siesta's dead body without its heart. Oh, or not. Okay, I don't know why I keep on thinking he's gonna be shown a dead body. Okay, at this one, it just makes you wonder. If Siesta and Kimizuka ever stood a chance against the Spare organization, when you see shit like that. Okay, that's creepy. And that also mentions in the first episode why Kimizuka was so pessimistic too. That explains the significance of hearts then. You know, the scene would be really tense if we would have seen this like before knowing that Siesta dies, only because it'd be like, oh man, is Kimizuka gonna live? Still a good sequence regardless, though. Yo, what absolute Chad! Hold the fuck up. You know, I actually liked a bit of character development for Siesta because it's the first time we've heard us really emotionally distressed for the well-being of Kimizuka. That's actually really sweet. Yo. What the fuck? How did you get access to that mecha? I mean, it's fucking badass. And it's fucking cool. But ow. Yeah, but she's the one who utilizes her boy as a bait, though. Okay, I got it. That's awesome and all. But it does leave some questions, though. It's like, yes, it does emphasize that they were poor and all, but it's like, but then we see him have like fancy swimsuits, and then in this episode we see him with the mecha. Not to say the scenes aren't cool; they're fucking cool. I like seeing it with the mecha. I think it's badass and all, but the series tells us one thing, but it does another thing on certain occasions. Regardless, the episode is still good overall. It's just like those minor details, though. Like sometimes you have an animes where they say, "Oh, this character's smart," but they're not actually smart. Their actions aren't really characterized as smart. Not saying the same as that situation, but it's kind of similar where it's like they say they're broke, yet we see her with the Mac and all that. That definitely isn't something that someone that broke would be doing, and traveling around isn't necessarily something that someone broke would be doing, you know? But regardless of like those little snippets where it's like, yeah, they're a little bit immersion breaking, the episode was really good regardless. Because here, at least we're seeing how intimidating the SPED organization is and seeing that powerful biological weapon they have. We also gain a lot of attention just given the fact that we don't know specifically what took the life away of Siesta. Like everyone I'm thinking Crimson Devil Ice Queen. Everyone I'm thinking, oh, is this what going to be taking away Siesta's life, or is this going to be it? So like how the episode figuratively has me on the edge of my seat, and I mean that in a good way. It just makes the whole thing much more exciting, if you ask me. And to further emphasize what else I really liked about this episode, too, aside from all that, I do like the fact that for this one, you also get to see a lot more characterization for Kimizuka. Just seeing the nice, more positive, happy vibes that he had when he was with Siesta. How he has that glow that he didn't really have in the previous episodes. And that's what I love. It shows you how valuable Siesta was towards his life. And I love how this episode emphasizes how valuable Kimizuka is to Siesta's life, because when she was screaming that she doesn't need that wall and she broke that shit with her mech, that was freaking cool. Because the previous episodes didn't really give us much emphasis on how much Siesta actually really did care about Kimizuka. she was still alive. That's why I thought this was great from a character standpoint. It made the relationship between Siesta and Kimizuko a lot more tangible. And I thought Hell was an interesting antagonist here. And it makes me wonder if she's going to play a factor later on in the series. But overall, for the most part, I thought most of the character bits were done well, and most of the story beats were well done too. Aside from the contradictions when it comes to some of the broke stuff, most of the story beats are nice because I do love the savagery from Hell. I thought that was pretty interesting. It makes her into an intimidating antagonist. And I do love how it showed you a bit of Kimizuka's competency when he was able to actually get away from the cuffs. That was actually pretty darn freaking badass. When you saw him fend for himself from a hand-to-hand combat standpoint against Cerberus, actually blocking some hits, you can definitely tell he picked up on some of the close quarter combat skills that Siesta has and that Siesta demonstrated in episode 1 of Detective Is Already Dead. So that's why I thought the story beats in the episode were actually pretty good alongside the character beats too. Save for, again, that exception I do have to mention. And that's why if I do have to rate this episode, and then, of course, the visuals, they were good. I liked them. And the artwork was actually really beautiful, and the voice performances are great. And that's why if I had to rate the episode on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, 10 being exceptional, I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10. Yes, was it a little bit immersion breaking? It was a little bit, but the positives way outweigh the negatives to the point where I'm like, I'm not going to overlook its flaws. I got to say what it does outweighs what it does bad. And I got to give it credit for that. It's still super entertaining, and I'm doubly excited for episode 6. And saying that, I kind of would have loved that whole twist of Siesta being dead to have been revealed later on, though, because in it revealing in episode 1, this scene that would normally be, oh shit, this is intense. It's more like, well, we know Kimizuka is going to make it alive. So really the only mystery is going to be how Siesta is going to die and also what's going to happen to Hell. So they kind of do this episode kind of does lose a little bit of emotional advantage due to that. But regardless, it's still a good episode overall. Just got to mention that other downside too, because whenever series are in non-chronological order, they kind of do have the downside of having to deal with some moments not being as emotional due to, at least me as an audience viewer, knowing what's going to happen. Well, not necessarily what's going to happen next, but knowing what's going to happen next to a certain extent. But overall, it was still fun. But anyways, these are my thoughts on the episode. I'd really love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction or the episode itself in the comment section below if you're inclined of commenting. Hope y'all rate the video, share, comment, or subscribe if you do not want to miss my reaction to the next episode. And I hope y'all have a fun, great, safe, and fantastic day, everyone. And I'll see y'all later if you come back for more. Bye-bye.